Stupidity, when used correctly, can prove a very versatile ally. You see, the problem with intelligence is that you start to overthink too much. Because when you're too smart, you think of every single possible outcome, and that includes every single bad outcome. That is pretty much never going to happen. But because you've occupied yourself with too many bad outcomes in your brain, you start to think that this is what's going to happen, which causes you to be distracted from actually taking action. However, when you're stupid and you use it correctly, you just do. You don't think. Because the idiot doesn't know that he's an idiot, and the idiot doesn't know if anything bad is happening to him. So the idiot continues acting regardless of what's happening.
One of the biggest ways individuals mess up their lives is they fear taking risks. The moral of today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is that you should not fear taking risks, my friends. Risk, especially when you're young. Especially when you're young and filled with energy, your risk appetite should be abnormally high compared to the average Joe. You're never going to be able to, climb mountains and push and strive towards your goals if you don't take actual risks. If you continue staying in your comfort zone, comfort kills, my friend.
Yeah, and bad things are inevitable. They're going to happen regardless. No successful entrepreneur, no multimillionaire, no athlete has became overly successful with no trials and no tribulations. It is bound to happen. But the person who's constantly overthinking thinks of the worst possible outcome that can happen, and they say, screw this, no, this is too risky. But if you're a risk taker, if you're constantly open to taking risks, this is how you have to live your life. You cannot keep thinking of the smallest little thing. You need to just put your foot on the gas, and whatever happens, but be open to taking risks.
Listen, taking risks is a win-win situation, no matter what, okay? Take risks. If you lose, you become wise. If you win, you become happy. Either way, you're winning regardless of whatever happens. Stop worrying about the future, because what if you're worrying about a future that is never even going to come to you to begin with?
Yeah. As humans, we have the tendency to think about the worst possible outcome. And in reality, we get in our heads too much, right? You gotta stop overthinking, my friend, because it's gonna halt your progress, it's gonna halt your mission, right? When you constantly overthink about what can happen wrong, and 99.9% of the time it's never going to happen, you're gonna start limiting your beliefs, and you're gonna start putting obstacles in your way.
Yeah.
But rather, if you ignore the obstacles and you go head on and you understand that as I get going, it's going to be like a snowball effect. The snowball is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you're just going to run through all those obstacles that you had in your head prior, my friend.
And I believe that something that's very, very important and critical if you genuinely want to see success is being able to sit with your thoughts. Being able to sit with your thoughts and envision your future. Being able to envision and know what you want to accomplish is very, very important that people often overlook. They think they don't need to. But what are people doing nowadays? They're scared to sit with their thoughts, so they cope with the social media and they cope with the quick dopamine because they're too scared to sit with their own thoughts. They do not have the courage to envision their future, right? But me and my brothers over here, when we envision our future, it often gives us goosebumps. It often, our goals, where we fear our goals because we set such high standards for ourselves. You need to set high standards for yourself in order to actually accomplish and attain things in your life.
The journey to success is like a book. Most people see the cover, few read the introduction, and barely actually read the entire book. Because the problem is that they overthink too much and they let negativity get to them. So, and this is why the versatility of stupidity is something that should not be underestimated. Stupidity, as I said, when used correctly, is the single best counter to any sort of negativity. If you're sad, then the best way to counter is to be stupid. Because when you're stupid, you don't know if anything bad is happening to you. So you don't become sad, you don't become angry, you don't become depressed, you don't become stressed. Nothing happens to you. No negative emotions can come to you because your mental barrier is so strong. Because nothing worries you. If you use stupidity correctly, your mental barrier will be absolutely unbreakable. Because nothing worries you. You don't let anything get to you, ever.
the individuals that watch this podcast are smart people, very smart people, in fact. But from brother to brother, don't get in your head too much. You're smart, you have that confidence, you have that charisma. But there's a con to being smart sometimes, and that is constantly getting your head headed too much and just thinking about the what ifs, right? And this is something that's gonna really get in the way of your entrepreneurial endeavor, my friend, right?
And the entrepreneurial path is something that is extremely stressful, right? And we all know this. If you're watching this podcast and you've been tuning into all of this, and you're probably on some sort of entrepreneurial journey, we all know that it's extremely stressful and it's not easy to accomplish freedom, right? To have a nice financial source, a nice source of income, right? It's hard to develop a high income skill, right? But when you're constantly open to taking risks, when you're constantly not thinking of the worst possible outcome that's 99% of the chance never even going to happen, this is just going to elevate your success tremendously. There's a quote that I actually stick by, and it's very, very important. And it's the people who act and think like a rich individual are the people who actually end up becoming rich individuals, right? The way you move, the way you speak to people should be with class. You shouldn't constantly be swearing in your words. That just makes you look like you're in a lower stool, right? Walk around with some class. Walk around with your shoulders back and a nice posture. Gain some muscle. Gain some money. It's very, very important to do all of these things as a man.
Listen, act like a king to be treated like one. Be respectful to others to gain respect back. Be an idiot to others and you will be treated like an idiot back.
Yeah.
Treat others disrespectfully and they will hand disrespect right back to you. All right? And going back to the solution to overthinking and everything, I heard this quote: the impatient idiot will accomplish 10 times more than the overthinking genius. And that's because the overthinking genius, all the action takes in the head. But for the impatient idiot, all the action takes in reality.
Please just stop overthinking, my friend. You're never going to get anywhere if you continue just getting in your own head. Stop thinking about the what ifs. Stop thinking about if I fail. In reality, it's always going to be a win-win situation. Even if you fail, you're going to learn more about yourself and you're going to learn more about how you can attack it head on next time. I remember many times throughout my life, I took that risk, but then I learned and I failed over and over and over again, but it made me learn more about myself. Because in reality, there's this phenomenon that's called the flashbulb light theory. And it's a theory in which when you fail and you experience a traumatic response in that failure, you're going to learn the most amount of information you could ever learn from that failure. Because you're not going to want to have that feeling again, right? It's called the flashbulb light theory. And it's a really powerful theory, and it's a very powerful anecdote in which you could use in your own life. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to, fall over, bro, because that's how you learn and that's how you bounce back and be better.
Yeah, bro.
I love that so much, that quote.
Yeah.
And if you never even put yourself through these situations, how are you ever going to taste success if you never tasted failure, right? You need to, put yourself in those positions where you feel like you're just going to pull your hair out of your head. You feel like, man, I've literally lost every single dollar in my bank account. What the hell am I going to do? You need to put yourself in those types of situations. If you're not putting yourself in those situations and you're just so comfortable, you're not going to attain anything. You're just going to be like a tax wage slave brokey for the rest of your life. And do you know what I actually realized? There's a really big problem with this generation. This generation, they think things are just going to come out of the air and just get handed to them. They don't know what the grit is. They don't know what the hard work is. And sometimes I'm sitting in class and there's kids literally putting their feet up on the desk towards the teacher. I don't know if you guys ever, I swear to God, there's kids putting their feet up on the desk toward the teacher. I'm like, how much disrespect do you have to have, right? This is off topic, but it's very important to have respect to every single individual if you want to be a successful entrepreneur in your life. You need to treat everybody equally.
And another thing that I don't like about this generation is when they see an individual actually putting in the hard work and actually putting in the grind, they look at him and they say, oh, he's trying too hard.
Yeah.
Oh, like I'm trying to be a nonchalant guy. Buddy, continue being nonchalant, continue being a lazy bastard while I exceed in every single realm of human endeavor.
You have to understand something. The universe, God created the universe to be balanced. If you wrong somebody, you will be wronged back eventually. Because if you wrong somebody, then you made them more negative. And since you made them more negative, most of the time they're going to exude that negativity. So they're going to be negative to somebody else. And they're going to be negative to somebody else. And so on and so forth. And so God makes it come back to you. If you give, you get back what you give. Because the universe is balanced. For every person that dies, a new person is born. For every person that is sick, another person is healed. For every person that is wronged, one person will be rewarded.
And God rewards those who genuinely put in the work, right? You need to put your complete 100% faithful trust in God. And do what's on your part and put the trust in God. Because God has never let you down. Has never let anybody, any of us down. Look at you. You have the health. You have the body. You have the house. You have the parent. You have everything. Nothing's holding you back. God has blessed you abundantly. So are you going to use these blessings? Or are you going to sit back like a fat, lazy bastard and do absolutely nothing with your life?
That's a very good point, my friend. We are not lacking anything. We are blessed beyond belief. We're living in America. We have our youth. We have our, health. There's no reason to make excuses for yourself. There's no reasons to say, oh, I live in this place, I live in that place. No, my friend. Sometimes God tests us in different ways. And we need to have that patience and we need to have that endurance. We need to see that light at the end of the tunnel. Right, my friend? Because I know you're watching this podcast, you have that level of self-belief. You have that level of just burning desire to achieve your goals. Because right now, I guarantee you, the majority of people clicked off this video. They're going to go just screw around, just be a lazy bastard. But you're here. You're this person that's actually going to make a change in their life. You're going to strike a jab in destiny itself if you continue on the path that you're currently on today. You understand that the power to control your mind is something so abundant, something so beautiful and powerful. You don't care how hard it's going to take you. You don't care how long, because you're willing to do whatever it takes.
Listen, my friend. The pain felt from failure will never feel as bad as the pain felt from regret.
It is truly a shame for a man to go throughout life without the desire to truly conquer his mind. For one must understand that for a conquered mind equates to a reality in which can be altered and shapeshifted. Because a conquered mind enables you to believe that you are capable of attaining anything that you truly desire. You must understand that if you're going throughout life without once thinking in your brain, how can I control this thing that's in between my ears? Because at the end of the day, if you don't have that desire to, you're just going to be a speck of dust flowing throughout the wind, my friend. For a conquered mind equates to a conquered legacy, and a conquered legacy equates to a conquered bloodline, which will strike a jab in destiny itself.
When I walk into a room, I don't care if this sounds narcissistic. I genuinely don't give a singular damn. When I walk into a room, the whole energy freaking shifts. The whole freaking energy just makes a whole 180. I don't give a singular damn if it sounds narcissistic or not. Because I worked on myself so freaking hard. So freaking hard.
I agree with that, my friend.
I agree with that, my friend.
Because you need to have that level of self-belief.
Yeah,
you need to have that level of self-belief to the point where when you walk into a room, everybody starts having a seizure.
Man, everybody, freaking everybody. Listen, if you are getting offended by anything that we are saying on this podcast, then maybe you should just look at your stupid damn life and realize that you haven't accomplished anything for God's sake. I can grab the hell out of you and throw you to the damn moon with one hand, and you cannot do anything about it, ever!
No, I agree. I agree tremendously. And if you're not constantly striving and pushing, I'm not gonna lie, if you're getting offended by our podcast, I don't know what to tell you, to be completely honest.
We preach nothing but self-improvement. How much of an absolute petty imbecile do you have to be? A stupid brat do you have to be offended by just self-improvement? We want you to succeed, damn it. And you're being offended by what we say?
Exactly, my friend. Numerous amounts of people came up to me, hundreds of Instagram comments, and I just look at their life, and they're bastards. They're pure and utter lazy, degenerate bastards, my friend.
Listen, bro, in life in general, I imagine that life is literally just GTA and I'm the main character in the freaking game, okay? It's like I'm playing the game, I'm the main character, and nobody else exists. Everybody is just an absolute degenerate NPC that doesn't have a soul. I believe when I walk in public, I literally believe that every single person that I see on the streets is just a robot disguised as a real human being, sent by the government to make me think that there are actual genuine people out there other than me. But there aren't. I'm the only person that exists.
So I was in a job interview one time, and the guy asked me, "What are some of your weaknesses?" I looked at him and I said, "Weaknesses? What are you talking about, man?" And I backhanded the hell out of him.
Yeah, good.
And then his face went flying and cracking the window.
Yeah.
Right, then I had to go to court. Then the judge was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like the employer was like some Chick-fil-A employer, and it was just a big problem, but I got myself a good lawyer. The lawyers that love money and everything like that, and they just love rubbing their hands with the big noses and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he managed to get me a good,
And
and like
he didn't
and then I got out of it, and the Chick-fil-A employer actually ended up going to jail instead of me. So the reason he went to jail is because the judge asked him, "What on earth are you thinking, asking this absolute specimen what his weaknesses are?"
Yeah.
He said he looked at the employer like he was crazy.
And that is exactly why you should never lose hope. Because if you have the correct allies, you can get away with anything and win in any situation. Like, for example, you can backhand the hell out of your stupid damn employer that you're asking for a job for, break his face, get him 72 billion stitches, and he can be the one going to jail.
And two broken femurs.
Two broken femurs. And
that's the power of hope.
You have to just any time someone even shows you the most minor little just ounce of disrespect, even if they squeeze your hand a little bit too softly. I need a firm handshake. If you squeeze it a little bit too softly, you don't backhand the hell out of them and ask him what the hell type of stupid handshake was that. Don't ever disrespect me like that ever again.
Dude, I feel so insulted and absolutely just disrespected when I set out my hand like this, waiting for a firm damn handshake, and somebody gives me this. Whenever that happens, I just want to take their stupid, petty hand, grab it with all my damn might, and launch them to the damn moon. And just freaking punish them. Just watch them die because there's no oxygen on the damn moon. Because that is what you get for disrespecting me. Yeah. You do not give me a weak, stupid damn handshake. You petty brat!
You can tell a lot about a person just by their handshake.
Yeah, really.
A lot of weak bastards shake my hand, can't even look me in the eye. Shake a person's hand if you mean it, man. Look at them in the eye. Have that charisma, have that confidence, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand people these days. There's a bunch of weak peasants. And then like this podcast that we're doing, a lot of people, they say, "Oh, you're trying too hard." Bro, you're not going to amount to anything. Yeah. Since when was trying hard actually something that should be frowned upon?
Yeah, when?
Since when, bro?
Bro, it just shows you dedicated.
Not until this stupid generation.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Because this generation expects nothing, alright? Expects the bare minimum. And they think the bare minimum is perfectly fine. Which is exactly why everybody in this generation is a damn idiot.
Yeah.
It is never going to amount to anything in any realm of human endeavor.
Like, for example, when I'm at the gym and I take off my pump cover, everyone just stares at me like, what is this guy on? Right? When I'm flexing in the mirror, everyone looks at me like I'm weird. But no, I just have so much self-confidence and just charisma that no one else in the gym has the balls to flex in front of the mirror because they're so insecure about their bodies. Right? Yeah. That's like flex in front of the mirror, man. Look at your freaking muscles. That's what we're so utterly hard for.
Yeah, bro.
You have to be proud of yourself. Yeah. Not to a level of arrogance, but a level of confidence. Think highly of yourself, my friend.
Be proud of yourself.
Have that level of self-belief to the point where you could literally think you could do anything that you want.
Yeah, bro.
Because the greatest entrepreneurs, the greatest athletes, the greatest specimens of mankind, they have this level of self-belief to the point where you could do anything, my friend.
Yeah, right.
You know, for example, me. I one time told a person that I know, I want to be making $10 million a year. He looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, bro, I had that level of self-belief.
It's not that much.
Like 10 million a year, bro. Like if you put in the work, if you put in the hours, if you put in the grind, the only level of limitation that you have is the ones that you set upon yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop putting obstacles in front of yourself that don't even exist. Stop thinking, stop overthinking. This is what the whole podcast is surrounded on today.
Yeah.
Stop listening to what, he has to say. Stop listening to what these people want me to do with my life.
Even with your own brain says
God,
sometimes.
that's a really good point. Even your own brain tries to stop you from attaining your goals and attaining your aspirations.
Yeah.
You have the power to literally shut down the noise and go full throttle.
Yeah.
Go 100 miles per hour towards your goals.
Yeah. The game of success is a very dirty and very harsh game because the people that you thought were your friends all along end up betraying you.
Yeah.
All right? Most people are just weak and they want to see you failing in life. And sometimes even your own brain will doubt you.
Yeah.
You will doubt yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
The game of success is a very bloody game because you're on your own, fighting against everybody, fighting against the people that you thought were your friends all your life, your own allies, even your own family, even yourself.
Yes, you're fighting against yourself, man.
Yeah, for example, I remember one time I was in high school. I was taking a science test, and I was cheating on the damn test. And then the teacher caught me cheating, all right? And the teacher ended up giving me a 0 on the freaking test for cheating. But the thing is, I believe that you are an absolute imbecile for freaking doing that. Just let me cheat on the damn test and get away with it. You parsimonious brat! Just let me cheat on the damn test. You are a slave, getting paid 2 damn pennies an hour. Nothing will change if you let me cheat on this damn test and get away with it. You are an unaccomplished, petty imbecile that will never amount to anything. You are 57 years old, working at this stupid job. If you've been working here for the past 40 damn years of your life, you will lose absolutely nothing if you just let me cheat on the damn test. Because at least you're making somebody else better. But they don't do that. You want to know why? Because they hate their lives and they're negative. So when you're negative, you exert negativity outwards. So that's why I don't let students like me, who deserve to get away with cheating, get away with cheating.
So let's actually relate this to real life. There's a saying that goes, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not saying in a legal manner.
Cheating is a great thing.
Yeah,
cheating is a great
I
thing.
love cheating. Yeah,
I'm not saying in an illegal manner. I'm not saying in a manner that's immoral, but in a manner in which you stop following the rules, the hidden rules that was set upon you ever since you were born.
Yeah,
Right? For example, they tell you, you need to go do this, you need to go to college, you need to get a degree. These are rules that maybe the common Joe has to follow. But you
are not a common damn Joe.
Exactly. You're watching this podcast, you're one of that literally 0.000000000000000000000000001% of people that is actually going to accomplish something with their lives.
Yeah, of course.
And I like always bringing this up. Let's say you see an individual pull up to a restaurant or a gas station or whatever, wherever you are, I don't care, in a Lamborghini matte black Aventador, right? And you look at this individual and he gets out and he's an absolute genius. He looks like in his 20s. He's jacked. He looks good. He got a nice timepiece on. You look at this guy and you think, oh my God, this guy just freaking works a job and he's so freaking smart and he just studied so hard in school and got the best. No, he broke some sort of rule. He, found some sort of, just rule to just break the slave freaking matrix and to finally develop a freaking high financial income skill, right? Yeah. And something also that I go by, this is a little bit off topic, but I want to say it previously. Every single man, I don't even care how harsh this sounds, every single man should be jacked, should be muscular. Every single man. I don't care if they're 50, I don't care if they're freaking 70, I don't care if they're 30. And by all means, I say this with a straight face. If you're not seeing gym results in the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the gym, and you're new to the gym, and you're still not hitting 225 and you're only 2 weeks in the gym?
Just quit, bro. You're a failure at life, Dennis.
What the hell are you doing? You need to start taking anabolic steroids.
Yeah, of course, man.
And
Yeah.
at this point, if you're literally 2 weeks, imagine me 2 weeks into the gym, still not able to bench 2 plates, just freaking quit or just take anabolic
So
steroids.
disappointed in you.
Yeah, man.
Disappointment.
You gotta cheat.
You have to.
If you are a male and you haven't got $1 million in your own bank account from your own work at the age of 20, just give up on life. Just end it all, my friend. Just go swim to a damn island and just live there until you die from insanity. Alright? Because you lost that life. How are you not a damn millionaire by the age of 20? Seriously.
So-
I mean, how pathetic of a brat do you have to be?
So you're telling me you're 20 years of age. You've been on this planet for 20 straight years. 365 times 20 is 836. You've been on this planet Earth for that long, and you're still not a multi-millionaire? What? You're telling me you've been on this planet Earth for 836 days, and you're still not a millionaire?
What a disgrace.
What a disgrace.
this waste of sperm. What a this waste of everything.
Yeah, just
I don't
waste.
know what you're doing. If you're 20 and you haven't made $1 million, 20 years old and you haven't made $1 million, what the hell's wrong with you? I don't know what to tell you at that point. You just failed at life. You failed your parents, you failed your whole bloodline. At this point,
Bro, just end it. Just end
leave
it all.
everything.
Just freaking go to NASA, request to fly to freaking Mars, and just live there until you die.
Just never come back.
Just don't come back, because you don't belong on this damn earth.
or-
You are an incompetent bastard.
Yeah, I agree.
Or what you
I
can
agree.
do as well is you could take a ship, go to the middle of the island, and just wait until Elon Musk comes with a solution to go to Mars, which is never going to be ever in the history of society.
Yeah.
What I'm essentially saying is, you're done.
Yeah, you are done. Like, literally done, period. Nothing is going to help you.
Period, end of story.
Even, I'm not going to lie, even if you're maybe even like pushing 19, 20, I don't know what the hell you're doing.
Yeah, bro.
What the hell are you doing?
Bro, in the
It's
future-
sad. It's
It's
honestly
very sad.
If I have a son in the future and he's not a millionaire by the age of 20, I am disowning that stupid bastard. He does not deserve to be my son. He does not deserve to have my last name. He does not deserve to be part of my legacy because he is a weak, incompetent bastard.
I agree tremendously. That's a great way to put it. You are just a pure and utter bastard if you haven't hit $1 million in the bank by the age of 20 years old.
Yeah, bro. You're just a weak, incompetent brat. I mean, like, bro, people used to literally lead armies by the age of 17 in the
By
medieval.
the age of like 7.
Like,
Yeah, man. Like
those
the guy
kids are
that
old.
the guy that literally took over Constantinople, the empire of Turkey during the Ottoman Empire. Do you know how old he was? He was 17 years of age, brother. And you're too scared to post yourself and make content and go out and take risks, and you're too scared to go and start that business. You're too scared to go and step out of the sheep herd, and you're too scared to do all of these lucrative things.
I agree.
Elon Musk was 14 years old when he invented the iPhone that we all use today, right? So you're telling me you're too young? You're telling me that you don't have the capabilities to go and attain what you want to do in life? Come on, man. Stop with the excuses.
Just take a look at some of the brightest people in the world, such as Albert Einstein. This guy was like 12 years old when he invented the light bulb and invented electricity. If that doesn't shock you, not even just that. He was 15 when he brought the game of chess into the world.
Yeah, and another example is Barack Obama. For example, Barack Obama literally abolished slavery only at the age of 17. That shows you that you can do literally anything in life. Anything, if you put your mind to what you do.
Speaking of Barack Obama managing to abolish all of slavery at the age of 17, there's many historical figures throughout history that have the same exact stories, which prove that you could do anything no matter your age. For example, Harriet Tubman. She was around age 22 when she simply said no when she was riding on the bus. Like, this just shows that no matter your age, bro, stop making excuses. Barack Obama managing to free the slaves at only the age of 17, bro. Like, you gotta focus, man. You gotta stop making excuses about your age. As we said, Albert Einstein, at the age of 7, managing to invent the light bulb.
Crazy.
Come on, man.
Take a look at Christopher Columbus. This guy managed to free the Native Americans. He told himself, you know what? I'm going to go to the Americas, and I'm going to free the Native Americans. All of these people are very inspirational people that we should strive to be like, right? Very, very inspirational people and role models in our lives.
Take a look at the many historical figures proving that you can literally do anything you want in your life. For example, Barack Obama, managing to free the slaves at only the age of 17. Harriet Tubman, managing to help free the slaves with Barack Obama at the age of 22. Christopher Columbus, helping free the Native Americans.
And you want to know what all of these people, like Harriet Tubman, Barack Obama, Christopher Columbus, all had in common? Stupidity.
Yeah.
They all used stupidity to benefit themselves. Because the versatility of stupidity is something so incomprehensible. Because if you use stupidity correctly, you can free all of the slaves in the world at the age of 17, like Barack Obama, or at the age of 22, like Harriet Tubman. Or you can free every single slave in Native America at the age of 17, like Christopher Columbus.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
It is a very, very
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys
It was
so
a
much.
pleasure having you guys today on our broadcast.
It was
I
great.
appreciate you
Always.
guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys. Make sure to see the next one. Make sure to keep subscribed.
Yes,
and
sir.
Watch and like.
Please,
Make sure to like the
please
videos.
subscribe, because you don't see anything like this on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later.